Hey guys, this is Ren, and on this Q&A, we're gonna dive deep into what we use at Silencer Central for range days. The two biggest essentials that I'm gonna bring out first is gonna be eye protection and ear protection. Whether you're shooting suppressed or unsuppressed, indoor or outdoor, having eye protection and ear protection is almost a must. A lot of public ranges also require that you have ear protection and eye protection. So even if you don't plan on using it and you go to a range that requires it, you have it in your bag and you're not going home early. Another essential that's kind of a given is something that you can usually find at a public range and actually purchase for say $1 or $2. And that's gonna be paper targets and being able to use maybe their stapler, or if they do not have staplers, simply using duct tape. The next essential is kind of a given, but I am definitely guilty of forgetting these things before heading to the range, and that is ammo and magazines. So making sure that obviously your firearm and ammo and magazines are at the top of your list. Obviously, if you don't have ammo, if you don't have magazines, your range day probably gets cut short. Now, another essential is gonna be a on-the-go medical kit. Make sure that this kit has trauma bandages, tourniquets, and quick clot. Even though you're shooting safely, things can go wrong and things can go south very fast. So having these is a must. The next thing we'll cover is some tools that we would recommend carrying with you on your range day. The first is gonna just be some general Allen keys. Making sure you have these for kind of general purpose, maybe fixing a tripod or a bipod. And then some more specialty tools like a Wheeler, a Torx screw, or some fix-it sticks when you're dealing with stuff such as scope mounts or things that actually need to be torqued to a certain spec. And then just a general Crescent wrench. Some direct thread mounts will just have wrench flats that you can simply have this and be able to get the suppressor on and off, or the mount on and off of the suppressor itself. Following that, these tools are going to be a little bit more specific to suppressor use. The first tools will be a welder's mitt and a strap wrench. If you're able to get the suppressor off with your hand and it's still hot, I totally recommend taking a welder's glove that you can find at a hardware store and putting it in your range bag. If the suppressor is too tight and you cannot get it off by hand, a strap wrench will come in handy. Another thing too is going to be the proprietary tool for whatever mounting system you have, if it does have a tool like that, such as Silencer Co. Bravo. Next, something that may get overlooked and that is a little detail that makes all the difference is going to be chamber flags. Whether you're using this in a competition or if the range goes cold, having a chamber flag, being able to put it in your firearm, just lets people know around you and yourself that your gun is unloaded and safe. Now, something in our minds that is going to be essential, especially when you're shooting out to longer ranges, is going to be quality optics. Quality spotting scope, tripod, and a quality rangefinding binocular or rangefinder. Now, what a rangefinder or rangefinding binoculars are going to help you do is set a zero distance for your rifle. So they're going to establish that target at a certain distance so you can zero your rifle at that distance. And then when you are shooting extreme long range, it's going to help you with your dialing for dope and your windage holdovers. Now, a spotting scope is going to be a little bit different than a rangefinder or even binoculars. What a spotting scope is going to be really able to do is get the fine details of where your impacts and misses are at extreme long range, especially when you're developing more of a data sheet for your dope. Spotting scopes are also going to help even more detailed than binoculars with zeroing your rifle. At 100 yards, you can just see obviously so much better with a spotting scope and really get those fine adjustments to get a true zero without having to walk down and back 100 different times. Now, if you're getting into extreme long range shooting, two things I would say are going to be super essential. And one is going to be a Kestrel ballistics weather meter and a Garmin or any type of chronograph. What the chronograph is going to do, obviously it's measuring the speed of which the velocity of your bullet is coming out of your barrel at. This is going to help with creating that ballistics chart for your dope for those different extreme long ranges. Now, a Kestrel ballistics weather meter or a different brand of your choice is just going to capture environmentals of the day of which you're shooting, like pressure, humidity, elevation. It all comes into play for your dope and the ballistics of your bullet. Now, going to the range obviously involves a lot of optics and eye protection. So one thing to be sure to bring is a lens cloth, making sure that all your lenses and your optics are clean, obviously giving you the best sight picture possible. Now, a couple more random items that we wanted to mention. One is going to be white spray paint, so that you can spray paint steel targets to be able to see your impacts better. Another one is just going to be some gun oil. After that, I would say shooting bags are definitely an essential in my book for rear support or shooting off, say, a barricade or any positional shooting that you may do. It really creates a rock solid platform for you to shoot off of. They're easy to carry. They can strap right to a bag itself. I believe in using these every time. And lastly, I definitely carried in my range bag is going to be bug spray. Again, guys, this is Ren with Silencer Central. I hope this video helped you with some new essentials to put in your range bag. Thank you, and we will see you in the next one.